Hey, so in today's vlog, we are going to talk about comparisons and why it is a terribly bad idea to compare yourself to anyone else for any reason whatsoever. Okay, so we often do this mistake, or subconsciously, we start comparing ourselves and our lives to other people. What kind of life other people are living, how well are others doing in their lives, and all sorts of things. We start comparing. Now, why this is bad thing is that every individual is distinct and unique in their own self. And when you're making comparisons, you are ignoring all the differences that you have and that person has. In case you were both living the same kinds of life with all the same resources, with all the same opportunities, with exactly the same luck, with everything exactly being the same, only then a comparison can be valid, but that's never the case. So your situations and your opportunities and how you grew up is different from that other person that you're comparing yourself to, but you don't realize this when you start comparing yourself. And another bad thing about comparisons is that you always compare yourself to someone who's doing better than you, someone who has more than you. You never make comparison of yourself to someone who has less than you or someone who is worse off than you. You always make the upward comparison. So I've also made a separate video about this entire concept of upward comparison. This is another reason why it's a bad idea to compare yourself, because you're always more likely to compare yourself to someone who's doing better than someone who's doing worse. And that makes you feel bad about yourself, and that makes you feel that you're inadequate and all sorts of things. That is why you should never make comparisons. Just take it as a general rule to just never compare yourself to anyone, because you're unique in your own self. You are doing things that they are not. You have skills that they probably don't. And the problem that I see with myself when I start comparing myself, because I struggle with this myself a lot, I start comparing myself to all sorts of people, and then I stop and remind myself of all the differences that there are. And the biggest difference that I almost always find is that I compare myself to people who are much older than me, right? So I compare the success of someone who's 10 years older than me, and then compare to myself, and I say that, okay, that person has achieved so much. But then later when I say 10, contemplate, then I realize that that person actually has had 10 more years in their lives, okay, which I'm yet to live. So there's no point comparing. And you forget all these things when you compare yourself to other people. So don't do that. Just never compare yourself to other people, and just focus on yourself. That's all what matters. Comparisons only do you harm. Comparisons are bad. So never compare yourself to anyone. You're unique and you are worth many amazing things. Just believe in yourself and keep going.